Hi, hello and welcome to my channel. If you watched my last video, you will know that I recently went to London. I went to London to celebrate my birthday. You cannot go to London without buying a few books. I have to let you know, guys, my cat is in my lap down here and he's kind of demanding attention at the moment. I don't know if you can see. Yep, there he is. He's so cute, isn't he? He doesn't really understand this. Oh. So I'm just gonna let him lie there in my lap while we get on with this video. I went to Waterstones for the first time in my life because I live in Norway and we do not have Waterstones here. We do not really have any of those big, no Barnes & Noble, no Waterstones. And getting your hands on English written books, at least where I live, is not very easy. And to get that, I usually have to go into Lillestrøm or Oslo. And so when I was in London, I just could not help myself. I had to go to Waterstones. And I did do a little damage. I also bought myself a tote bag, of course, because I had to have that memory of going to Waterstones. So let's start with what I got there. Okay, let us see here. So at Waterstones I got 3 hardbacks and 2 paperbacks, and I got the Circe by Madeline Miller. This is a Greek myth retelling about Circe, of course. I cannot wait to read this one because if I remember correctly, Circe is Greek mythology's witch, if I remember correctly. So it says, when Circe's gift threatens the gods, she's banished to the island of Aiaia, where she hones her occult craft, casting spells, gathering strange herbs, and taming wild beasts. Can't wait to read that. Love witchcraft, love mythology. So that is a very good buy. I also bought Jennifer Saint's Electra, and I bought it in the paperback because then it will match my copy of Ariadne. This is the retelling of, the story of Electra. It says, behind all gods and heroes, there are great women. So it's about Clytemnestra, Cassandra, and Electra. Electra is the youngest daughter of Clytemnestra and Agamemnon. Electra is horrified by the bloodletting of her kin, but can she escape the curse, or is her own destiny also bound by violence? This is gonna be so good. Cannot wait to read that. But I do think I'm gonna read Ariadne first. I got that one. And then I found, of course, The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. That's a little hard for me to pronounce. I don't know why, but I can't do it. But love this. The cover is gorgeous. And I'm not really sure what it is about. So I think this is a fantasy cartel book, and our main girl has the power to what was it called? The power to raise the dead. After a job goes wrong for the cartel that she works for, she gets captured and she gets a choice. A lot of the people in a nearby village has been dying lately, and she gets a choice that either help to find out what is going on or face the pyre. So I cannot wait to read this. I think it sounds very interesting. And so I picked this one up from Waterstones. I also found a book that I haven't heard a lot about it, but one of the YouTubers that I really trust mentioned it in one of her videos, and I knew that I had to have it because it is the book Valkyrie by Kate Hartfield. I really want to read this book, and not just because it is a mythological inspired kind of book, but it is Norse mythology inspired, and I am a Norwegian, and for me Norse mythology is kind of in my heritage, in my roots, and so I do love a good Viking story, and the Valkyries are how am I gonna explain these? The Valkyries are the female warriors that brings the dead warriors to Valhalla. And it says here on the back, it was a place for believing in gods and monsters. But what made me shiver was that everyone was a god and a monster. And the cover is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. It's about a fallen Valkyrie. One of the shield maidens to Odin, the All-Father, for those of you who don't know. But yeah, no, I love it, and I cannot wait to read it. It's not really that thick, so I don't think it's gonna take me that long. Let's see, just over 300 pages. That's not long, so really want to read this. This was actually the first book I grabbed. So there's that. I also found a book called The Green Man of Eschwood Hall. It's written by Jacob Kerr. Look at that cover. It's a kind of a small book, and the dust jacket is papery, if you know what I mean. Oh, and it has beautiful end papers. I did not know that. Look at it. It's just some kind of a, I think it's beautiful. I like it. And the hardback underneath is this foresty green color. I really like that. It is beautiful. Okay. Lush and magical, softly creepy, and ultimately shocking. That sounds good. I cannot wait to read this. The reason this book got on my radar is because it's called The Green Man, and that is kind of like a nature god, the Lord of the Wild kind of thing. Very popular in Celtic mythology, actually. So cannot wait to read this. It is amazing. And I also picked up one more thing from Waterstones, and that is a new bookmark. I cannot have enough bookmarks. I found this. Though she be but little, she is fierce. And it has this kind of tassel on it with a green bead. I really like this one, so I could not help myself. I picked it up. And that was everything that I bought at Waterstones, but on our way home on the airport at Gatwick, they also have a bookshop there. So I couldn't help myself, because this was after we had turned in our suitcases and weighed them and everything, and now I suddenly had room in my backpack for some more books. So yeah, I couldn't help myself. I ended up buying a few more books. And I am gonna start with this one. I bought Medusa by Jessie Burton. I bought this book because I like mythology and I find it interesting. But I also think that the story of Medusa is very interesting because she has always been looked at as a monster of Greek mythology, and I think that she is a very misunderstood woman because she was turned into a gorgon because one of the goddesses was jealous of her looks. So I want to see if Jessie Burton gives Medusa justice. I really want to see if he does that. And according to this, if I told you that I killed a man with a glance, would you wait to hear the rest? The why, the how, what happened next? Exiled to a far-flung island after being abused by powerful gods, Medusa has little company other than the snakes that adorn her head instead of hair. Haunted by the memories of a life before everything was stolen from her, she has no choice but to make peace with her present. Medusa, the monster. But when the charmed and beautiful Perseus arrives on the island, her lonely existence is blown apart, unleashing desire, love, and betrayal. Monster, man-hater, murderess. Forget everything you've been told about Medusa in a new version of the story that history set in stone long ago. You know what? According to this, I think that maybe he has done her justice. We will see. Can't wait to find out. I also picked up The Children of Hurin by J.R.R. Tolkien. This one is actually edited by his son, Christopher Tolkien. So this is some of the materials that were found after his death and put together for a new book. I love Lord of the Rings. I always have. And a part of me really wants everything that Tolkien has written, and I have actually started a collection. So this one was naturally the next step on my list. It is The Great Tale of the Children of Hurin, set during the legendary time before the Lord of the Rings. And before Lord of the Rings, I think it is when Morgoth was ruling instead of Sauron. So, wait a minute, it says from right here. Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, dwells in the vast fortress of Angband in the north. And within the shadow of the fear of Angband and the war waged by Morgoth against the elves, the fates of Turin and his sister Nienor will be tragically entwined. Yay! More Lord of the Rings. Yeah, wait, I really love that. And last but not least, I also decided to flesh out my Agatha Christie Poirot collection a little bit. So I bought a 3-act tragedy, Appointment with Death, and Dumb Witness. These are all 3 Poirot stories. I love Poirot. I watched all of the episodes and the movies. And I have just started collecting the books. So I did that, and that is all the books that I brought home from England. Yeah, there was a lot more that I wanted to buy, but I kind of had to think about my luggage weight to get them all home. And yeah, that is all the books that I bought. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I am wishing you all a wonderful springtime and a beautiful day. Bye.